Alright. Hey, what's up, nerds? My name is Trogdor, and I've got another team builder for you because I've got another NSTL game coming up shortly. So, my game is versus Gray, aka the God Emperor, the Lord Commander, the kingpin of this league, the creator. Super cool dude. I don't know why you'd be subbed to my channel but not his, but anyway, he's got a super scary team, and I'm gonna go over it real quick with you. It's right here. Mega Heracross. Originally that was Mega Charizard, so yeah. Mew, Thundurus Incarnate, Greninja, Kyurem Black. I get to face Kyurem Black again. Registeel, Haunter, Whimsicott, and Gastrodon. So it's a pretty interesting team. A lot of different things going on. Some big heavy hitters for the most part. A few bulky boys. Yeah, I'm gonna go over why I'm bringing what I am. So firstly, I've got my Tapu Bulu right here, running an AV set just because why not? I will be able to tank a lot of hits, and I've got a fair amount of bulk. I have Nature's Madness just because things like the Registeel and the Gastrodon and the Whimsicott will like not appreciate 50% damage automatically be taken. And then there are things like the Mew and the Kyurem that after 50%, like, I can do just a serious lot more damage. It's going to be a fantastic wall breaker. The main thing that stands in Zygarde's way is the Gastrodon, so that's why Bulu is here to like bop that with the Horn Leech, but I honestly don't see it staying in versus me. I'm more likely the switches are the likes of Thundurus and Greninja, but I have Rock Tomb to slow those guys down, so that'll be super fun if I'm with Bulu and he switches out and I go for the predicted Rock Tomb. Thundurus comes in, gets slowed down, I outspeed Rock Tomb again, and it gets bopped, and that's out of the way. But I don't see Thundurus as the biggest threat to me. I see Gastrodon, Whimsicott, Registeel are all like super fat things that could potentially like whittle me down, but at the same time he's got super offensive things like Mega Heracross. He could run like Nasty Plot Mew, like a fast Z move Greninja, and Kyurem Black that could just like punch a lot of holes in my team. So it really depends on which 6 he chooses to bring. I'm predicting obviously Gastrodon, so like Zygarde doesn't like just destroy him. Registeel, just because it's such a fat thing that like switches into my Latias super well. Whimsicott, because it's like the only thing that can actually do a lot of damage to Bulu and Zygarde. But now that I think about it, I might bring Iron Tail instead of Extreme Speed, even though he does have like priority things like priority. Does it get Sleep Powder or Encore? It's basically going to be annoying, but I'm debating about Extreme Speed. Crunch, obviously, for the Mew, 1000 arrows to hit everything, including the Thundurus, which is so much fun. Dragon Dance, there are so many moves I want to bring on this. Like, I obviously want to have some Dragon Stab, like Outrage, because Whimsicott, once that goes down, and if Registeel's not around, that's just going to be punching everything. So I don't know if Extreme Speed is the right move, because if Greninja's Scarf, then Ice Beam, but I have the Yachi Berry. So a lot of tough decisions. Like, I don't need to bring Superpower because I would only be hitting Registeel, which is killed by 1000 arrows. Crunch, like, I really don't want Mew to set up on me or anything, so I have to be dealing a serious amount of damage to it. But because yeah, that's a base 80 power move and that's base 90 power, so yeah, I'll come back to that. Anyway, his ground type is Gastrodon, and his fastest thing is Greninja, so Manectric is going to be a speedy boy, and I've got the Hidden Power Grass, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Overheat. So Whimsicott comes in, I click Overheat, I Volt Switch on everything except Gastrodon. That comes in, I hit Hidden Power Grass. If he's got the Rindo Berry, great, because then Bulu's doing even more damage, and yeah, Intimidate is just going to be super great for things like the Heracross, which again I hit with the Overheat very well. So it's going to be doing fast things. I think Manectric, I want it to stay healthy for the most part throughout the game, just because it's going to be doing a serious chunk of damage potentially. So coming in hot, we've got the Hariyama, which the week 2 when I went up against, I think it was Monster who had Kyurem Black before he dropped it. This was my dedicated check to it, but it went down way early, and then I wasn't able to take it down with Hariyama, so now I'm bringing it again. The Assault Vest, of course, thick fat, so I can take Ice Beams for days. Close Combat Knockoff, Poison Jab, Fire Punch. I think I thought something like, oh no, this is for Heracross, of course. But still, Close Combat is going to be doing a huge chunk to that. Do I want the Bullet Punch? Potentially. Yeah, that'll be... No, I've got Poison Jab for the Whimsicott. Yeah, basically, it's basically going to be fat. It's going to take basically any hit from Kyurem and bop it with a Close Combat, and that's its job, essentially. So... yeah, Hariyama, want to keep it around so I can properly deal with Kyurem this time. Cofagrigus, so Mega Heracross is super scary. It's really slow, like, it speed ties with Tapu Bulu, but I'm not bringing max speed on it just because I don't want to go max on it. I want to have some bulk investment. I'm bringing 2 Assault Vest users, by the way. That's pretty awesome. So he might be bringing max speed just to speed tie with my Bulu because Pin Missile is an Oko on me. Well, like, it's in like a 98% chance Oko, so I do not want to be messing with that and risking a speed tie to stay in and then just die and doing, I don't even know how much damage. It's not enough. So I have Cofagrigus because Mummy and his multi-hit moves won't be doing multi-hits. I think it's like Mummy takes into effect after 1 turn, but I've got Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Ball, Pain Split, and Energy Ball with the Colbur Berry because Knockoff is the move that it can hit me the hardest with. And then I'll get HP back with Pain Split, go for the Will-O-Wisp, which if I can get a burn on that Heracross, that'll be like great for me, honestly. But yeah, it otherwise just does like really fat things. Like it switches in okay against certain things. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but like, you know, I can get a surprise Energy Ball versus Greninja and Gastrodon. I also calculated if I'm at full, Greninja's Black Hole Eclipse Z move does maximum 80% to me, I believe was a calc, so that'll be nice. Even though I'm not like guaranteed to Oko it, I don't think, but that'll be just a nice chunk of damage, especially if he's been taking a lot of chip damage and the like. And then I have Latias just because it's like really fast, really clean up. Oh, did I want... Oh yeah, I'm outsped by Thundurus by 1 point, so I needed to outspeed the next fastest thing, which I think was the Kyurem. And so yeah, Latias is just like a really good, fast, like potentially clean up depending on his team composition. Like I said earlier, his best switch to this is Registeel, which Manectric does a ton too with Overheat. Zygarde does a ton too with 1,000 Arrows, and Hariyama does a ton too with Close Combat. So there's no, like, he's probably going to be some sort of mixed bulk, but if he's maxed on either end, I think either Overheat or Close Combat just completely bops it because these guys do so much damage. And Latias is just potential cleanup crew because unless he's like Scarf something, then I outspeed like everything except Greninja, but Greninja's super frail, and I think the most it can do to me is with, oh, of course, Dark Pulse. So yeah, no, I won't be staying in versus Gren, but if I get the predicted Dark Pulse on Hariyama. So my battle plan is basically pivot around with Manectric a whole bunch because he doesn't have great Volt Switch answers because I can Hidden Power Grass the Gastrodon so easily. Sweep with Zygarde late game, depending on, again, how many checks to it he brings. Like, Icy potentially Gastrodon and Whimsicott. Not Haunter because 1,000 Arrows, of course, but depends on his Mew as well, because if he's like fully bulk, then I'm much more free to Dragon Dance in his face. Potentially get Will-O-Wisp, that would not be ideal, but I can live in Ice Beam in that case and do a ton of damage with Crunch. And if he's offensive, then I get 1 Dragon Dance, he goes for the Ice Beam, I live with the Yachi, I go for Crunch and KO. So it's a potential late game win. So again, I don't even know if Mega Heracross will be there. If not, this is another kind of good check to cure him if he decides to bring a physical variant, which isn't great because its physical move pool is kind of potato, but you know, if he's like Sub-Zero Slammer, then Cofagrigus can switch into that, go for the Will-O-Wisp, all that good jazz. So my battle will be commencing in not too long. So yeah, this has been the team builder. Bit rushed. I've got a bit of a headache, but you know, whatever. Gotta get the battle done at some point. So this will be going up Saturday. I'll have the battle up the following day, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, stay tuned for that. I already said that twice, so that's a good enough outro. See you later.